So the quest for giant antlers continues here on Timbergold Trails today, with some plans to maybe head up into the mountains and chase bighorn and mountain lions a little bit later. We've had some really good luck here between massive non-tips and 400 scoring elk, so we're gonna head out today and see what this map has in store for us. So minus the downpour, starting off on the right foot, a 315 to 365 bull. See if we can maybe get a shot in here with the pulsar, and hopefully kind of scoot down towards the southern part of the map. That is going to be a single lung shot anyway. Not quite double lung. It felt like almost could have been lung and liver, but he shouldn't be going too terribly far. Tougher track than I expected it to be. Kind of took a little bit of running around to figure out where he went. It was lung and intestine somehow. I don't know how we did that, and I think... Okay, I didn't think we'd be able to actually identify that because we were in the harvest screen, but we'll try to call this guy in too. What I like to do is, at the start of these hunts, move down towards this area and pretty much get to where it's going to cost one camping supply to jump to that tent. This bull's kind of going to move us in that direction, so might as well try to get him. Not quite as good a bull this time, just a 175 to 225. I think he may top 200, but I'm not even certain of that. I have to sidestep that tree. Don't know how he didn't see us, but that was the plan the first time we let an arrow fly. So let's go and grab this guy real quick. We'll scoot down into the water. I know there was a grizzly in the area, so maybe we stumble into that. But the plan is going to be, we didn't top 200 by the way, jump down to that tent, get into mule deer territory, and off we'll go. Quite the scene going on over here. Got a kind of decent-ish buck. There's got to be wolves somewhere close by. But the first thing we're going to have to do is get an arrow in that doe, and then try to scoot over to the tree stand. There was a buck run. Maybe from that one, but I thought it was a little further down. And I think I do hear the footsteps of a wolf. So let's get into the stand. We may actually call for wolves first and try to get them out of the way, because that can help us a lot if we can get them to get out of here. Actually, I think the issue may have been one of potentially two different grizzly bears, because that one's right down there by that buck. Now the thing is, blonde and albino grizzlies look really similar, and especially in low light, it's tough to tell. So without even spotting the other, just want to take that one down. Never heard this one run. I can just hear it kind of walking around somewhere over here on the left. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that one is just another smallish female. No big deal. I guess we'll try to get that buck coming in. Kind of a chaotic start here. I think you can probably see though why I wanted to come down here. Got another mule deer buck across the lake. Now when they're in that particular area, they pretty much don't come into a call. They'll just sort of walk in circles because they can't figure out how to get in here. And I think that's going to be fine. He's not all that big. This one is pretty much here. And unfortunately, the rain is back. So gonna try to get this shot in there. Wanted to make sure he got good and close. The wind is stronger when it's raining. So I swear I hear that grizzly again. Think I'm going to take it off, so let's jump down. We can finally collect everything and check and see, did we win the grizzly bear fur type lottery with this one over here. So buck first, probably 160s, maybe touching 170. Long liver stomach on him, 165. And the bear, I mean, looks light, but the way the lighting is right now, really tough to tell. Blonde indeed. Always just got to take him out just in case. And then finally, the doe that we had to get out of the way right at the start there, actually heart shot her. And we're now 5 kills in, and half of them feels like we're just sort of shooting something that's standing right in front of us. I don't see anything that stands out about that gray wolf, but that is the best estimate I have ever seen. Max weight up to 95 kilo and 16 to 17. We're spotting, hang on, it is the one in the back, right? Yeah. Like, it doesn't look like he has a huge head. Let's just kill him. And we can go and find out. 16 to 17 guarantees he'll be quite solid. If he's better than, say, 16.4, I think we may have a wolf skull mount through an added lodge. But typically, it really stands out, like you can really tell. They've just got that much bigger head than a normal wolf. The thing about it is, over 80 kilo, you're usually looking at that 16.4, 16.5 range. I don't know what to expect here. And the worst part too, like he's completely laying in the water. Really tough to try to gauge what we might have even from here. I mean, it looks decent size. Let's take a look here. 87 kilo, right long and neck at 186 meters. Waiting forever to see that score 16.66. That is literally perfect. I believe we have a 16.7 in the lodge. I don't want to tab out because sometimes that gets weird. We're just going to go with the skull mount. I'd like to just check, but I'm pretty confident that'll be our biggest skull mount, but it's just under the size of our biggest full body, which basically allows us to, instead of replace something in the lodge, actually add something to it. That was really, really solid. You know what I think it is? He's just a huge-bodied wolf. Like, normally, high-scoring ones, it almost looks like their head's too big for their body, but 87 kilo, that's 191 pounds? A 16.6 scoring skull just kind of fits on a wolf body that big. I've noticed that with bears sometimes in the past, too. The ones that look really huge don't score as high, and then one with a good estimate that maybe doesn't look so kind of out of place ends up being the biggest one that we've ever taken. So, pretty darn cool. Looking forward to adding that skull to the lodge. And hopefully as we head up here along the river, there's going to be even more good stuff. Now we're getting a little somewhere. Got a 170 to 200 buck coming in. Probably going to be high 180s, I would think. And another kind of average one back there with a huge sticker, by the way, right above his left brow tine. I'm going to zoom in on that real quick before we go for a shot. That thing is longer than most of the tines he has. Anyway, let's try to get the shot in. So I can't... Oh yeah, there's another buck there. I don't know if we'll get away with this. We're going to try. Yeah, kind of as expected. At least that one spooked. The one on the left stayed. Maybe there's hope, because I'm guessing there's probably 5 of them back there. If there are more coming in, hopefully we at least get to see it, because that guy's just running around in the river and not making things easier. I mean, the 4th one is better than these other 2. The one that we spooked is like walking right to us, though. They're kind of all in the same general size range, but I bet we can do, because he's off to our right. If we can get this drop shot, the one on the right is going to spook away from the one across the river. And I think we can do this, and potentially at least get 3 out of the 4 that we've seen. Should still be one that hasn't come into sight yet. Oh, and it's maybe the best of the bunch, actually. Not massive by any stretch, but better than the other ones for sure. 165 to 190. Gonna be really close to the same size as that first one that we got. Probably we'll just go ahead and get him with the 6.5. I guess, depending on what this guy does, I bet you that'll kill him, but if we can get him to follow up, maybe it helps. Good deal. 4 out of 5 is not bad at all. Couple it'll be north of 180, I would think. And 2 sort of average ones, more in the area of like 140 or thereabouts. 181 for that guy. This guy, I think, was the second one that we shot. 145 for him. Got our other big frame buck with a little bit of a sticker there that might kind of hurt us. Speaking of stickers, we should have, well, it kind of worked out, but I would have liked to have shot that one with that sticker. Somehow liver and stomach, and he's 178. So it did turn out the first buck we shot ended up being the best, and then I thought this other one ran somewhere right up behind him and then dropped. That'll be his track, and he's laying right there. We will definitely take that. Got to see every buck in the herd. We were kind of lucky to be able to do that, and we ended up with a 178, a 181, a 145, and a 163. Not a bad deal from a herd of mule deer. So if we're going to go up to the mountains eventually, I figure we better fast travel over to this side of the map and just see if we get anything else good for mule deer. And once again, a pretty solid buck, but no monster by any stretch. 165 to 195. And I think before he gets under the stand, we'll go ahead and stick an arrow in him. Probably going to spook pretty much everything around. But best I can tell, he is the only one really worth getting. So the one over there maybe stayed. Don't think we're going to worry too much about that. Got a doe sneaking in there. Let's go ahead and grab him and move on, because what I want to do is make it at least part way up the river. So we're going to have to get all the way across here and then start moving north before we go up to the mountains, at least if we can cover as much ground as I'd like to. So this guy here, I think he will be our best buck. 190 for him, so definitely an improvement. This is shaping up to be almost exactly like the hunt where we got our 400 Rocky. A bunch of just really solid mule deer bucks, but no monster ones. I'm sure you guys saw there, he kind of looked around. There were some other bucks coming in, but he was absolutely going to bolt if we got up and tried to get to full draw. So we'll take that one. Best estimate we've seen thus far. It may be slowly improving. Still that short time he's going to fall shy of 200. Thinking like 194, somewhere in that range. Hard and left lung. He is going to be 185 actually, not as big as I thought. You know, I've been wondering where all the elk were. Really not too many tracks, and this is the first time we've had a bugle in pretty much 2 hours since we first got going on this hunt. Not a special bull by any stretch, 225 to 275. But I think maybe we'll try to get him with the 7x64, and then we're going to jump up north and do a little bit of bighorn and puma hunting. So hopefully this can go a little better than our first shot. Kind of impressed that insta-dropped him. Not a huge caliber, but certainly enough to take down an elk. Even still, nothing at all special. Was lung, liver, stomach though. That's a heck of a performance out of that round. 270 score. And looking at our options, all 3 of the tents I have up in the mountains are going to take 2 camping supplies anyway. I kind of think this is the best spot. Decent chance maybe we get a puma right when we fast travel. Gonna listen for any sounds. Kind of surprised we don't have anything at all. So real quick, we're going to throw the alpine camo on, and we'll go and see what's around here. Finally, we at least found a bighorn ram. If we were hunting ewes, we'd be doing absolutely fantastic. The things are everywhere right now. Can we actually still see him when we bring up the scope? Okay, he's all the way up there. Looks like probably just a 140, but we might as well try to take him out. What a perfect spot to get stuck. I mean, we could try to hit him in the head. It will kill him, even if it's not an insta-kill. If he's going to be stuck there, I guess we'll try. I'm pretty sure he's hit anyway. Well, that one is better. 100 to 180 on the estimate. Probably just going to be a 160. And it is the dark fur type, so at least like a little bit of an uncommon. Probably on the tracks. We have to get him while crouching. I gotta get that shot before we fall off the tracks. And now we have 1 to hopefully track down. I'm thinking he's standing right about there. He shouldn't have gone too terribly far. And then this guy at least will be a better one. And with his estimate, he's basically guaranteed to be in the 160s. 170s happen, but pretty uncommonly. Double lung, 175 meters out, 165 for him. Now the question is, how far did the other one go? So we ended up with 2 rams for the price of 1. Kind of curious where we actually hit him. I figured it would be skull, and that's why I thought it would bring him down. Hitting literally anything, skull, shoulder blade, hip bone does help. 145 score, but if we go into trophy shot mode, I want to try to find the actual impact, because I'm guessing it was sort of in the jaw. I just don't see it. I mean, it is as if it doesn't exist. I have no clue. Maybe it's in there somewhere and I'm missing it, but as far as I can tell, no visible bullet wound. Anyway, so we're now kind of north of that little railroad fast travel. What I think we'll do is make a little bit of a loop, go through this area up here. It's a little bit more open. Maybe a chance to spot bighorn out in the open, and obviously that opportunity to try to get a puma. And we'll kind of wrap up kind of back towards where we first fast traveled to. You know, I continue to hope for like a really good sized whitetail ptarmigan as we go along. One thing in our Texas lodge that we don't have like completely filled are all the bird plaques. We just don't even have enough taxed to even fill all of them. That white variant is, I don't want to say new, it's a couple years old, but we definitely don't have a big one with this variant. The last time we shot any decent whitetail ptarmigan was probably a few years before they even added that. So if this happens to be top of that estimate, I thought when I saw his weight out to 0.5, maybe there'd be a chance, but realistically, we probably want like 440-ish to put in the lodge. If this guy's 420, maybe we'll consider it. Body shot 44.6 meters. I don't know why scores are taking so long to calculate today, especially when it's just his weight. 404. I can't justify it. It's a decent bird. It would look cool. Eventually we'll find one better than that though. Oh. I can't believe we got that. I don't know if that was the same one that we spotted. It sounded like it just flushed up out of here, and I figured we'd give it a try. It looked like that more kind of gray variant. It is. This one is a male as well. 444, that's solid though. It counted as grounded, I guess because it was landing. I'm gonna have to really consider that. The very bottom of the whitetail ptarmigan leaderboard is 450. So I think I am gonna go back and tax this one. you guys know it drives me nuts, like having empty plaques in the lodge, especially, you know, the Texas Lodge has been out for close to a year now, and slowly but surely, we've made a lot of big improvements to it, like the wolf that we got today. So, I'll tax that, we'll put it in one of the bird plaques. There's still a bunch that need to be filled. That's just crossing one more off the list. So, finally, we do have our first puma of the hunt coming in, and unfortunately, it is just going to be a female. So, the thing was, it made a couple of calls, but none that we could actually ID with the hunter mate. So I figured we better just call it in and try to take it out. There's been a thing I've been trying to work on for, I don't even know at this point, probably like 5 years, and that is trying to get 100 harvests of every species in the game. There's a profile banner you get when you do that, and puma are on the short list of things we don't have 100 of. So even though this won't be a high scoring one, nothing for the trophy lodge or anything like that, at least it is something that'll help us in that case. Spine 1, left lung, liver, stomach, 12.9 score. That actually is a high scoring female. They're usually low in the 12s. And I do think on that note, we're going to jump back to the trophy lodge and take a look at our new wolf skull and ptarmigan mounts. Now the one negative I found, the full body mount wolf we have in this lodge is actually 16.575. So the skull mount that we did today actually could have been an improvement there. But it was the same fur type, it would have been an improvement of like 0.1. I kind of prefer doing the skull mount and getting to add to the lodge. Maybe one day we can find a even bigger one for the full body mount down the road. As for our whitetail ptarmigan, didn't even know there was a bird plaque there, so pretty cool to add that. Actually becomes the second biggest whitetail ptarmigan in our entire lodge. And then the very last skull specific platform that we hadn't filled finally gets completed today with the gray wolf. And something I didn't know until I placed this. Look at the size difference. So this is a 16.1 that we killed back in February on stream. The 16.6 from today absolutely dwarfs it. I had no idea there was an actual visible difference in the lodge, and that's just yet another reason to really work to get good size bears, wolves, boar, whatever we're going for the skull mounts, because it really does show up, and I think that is quite cool. So as I mentioned, that is the last actual skull specific mount. There are, though, like these platforms over here, skulls can go on these too. So if we want to replace, you know, a not very impressive northern pintail, for instance, we could do that with another big wolf or something like that. The last thing I want to show, I shot another 70 turkey and didn't record it. I can't tell you how dumb I feel for that. That was during the Blocktail event. I just haven't gotten to come in here yet. I need to rotate that, but I can't do it in multiplayer. Get the fan out of the support pole, but anyway. Little kind of mini accidental tour of the trophy lodge, going through everything that we have here, adding the skull mount and the ptarmigan. That wolf though, just seeing the size difference, that really makes me want to go back and keep on hunting for more wolves, more bear, that kind of stuff to improve on the ones that we've got currently placed. And that is the beauty of the trophy lodges in the Hunter Classic. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.